What the fuck? Mark whispered in a panic to himself as he shot out of bed. The clock read 3:17 as he was abruptly awoken by the sound of someone banging in his front door, struggling with the knob and yelling, begging to be let in. He immediately called the police, seeing as he lives alone and wasn't expecting anyone to be at his house at such an hour. 911, what is the address of your emergency? The operator sounded tired, but ready to assist nonetheless. Mark proceeded to tell the operator about the noises at his door, and she dispatched an officer and instructed Mark to stay on the line until they arrived. The noises continued for a while, but eventually died down, leaving Mark in complete silence and stillness. Hello, are you still there? The operator broke the silence, informing Mark that the officers were outside. Mark hesitantly made his way to his front door, greeting the two officers. After some deliberation and a quick sweep of the immediate area, the officers came to the assumption that an animal of some kind must have made its way onto his porch and was messing with the door. After the officer's departure, Mark made his way back inside, making sure to lock the door behind him, and reluctantly went back to bed. This carried on for a few days, night after night. Mark would wake up to his doorknob being jiggled. Sometimes he would hear whispering, breathing, and sometimes even a frustrated grunt. One night, he got bold. He had decided that he would stay up and try to catch whatever or whoever was messing with him. Mark decided to stay on his couch and relax before he would confront the thing that had been harassing him. At about 1:30, he was watching a documentary on TV when he, despite his best efforts, dozed off to sleep on the couch. As his living room clock hit 3:17, he abruptly woke to the sound of banging to his front door. This was new. Usually it was just scratching, jiggling the knob, but this time it seemed like whatever was out there really wanted in. That was when he heard it.
Please, let me in. He's almost here.
The voice screamed out to Mark, sending shivers down his spine. They knew he was there, but something was off about this voice. He recognized it, but it couldn't be. He crept towards the peephole, slowly and silently, making certain to be quiet as possible. As he gazed through the peephole, his fear amplified as his thoughts were confirmed. Standing on the other side of the door, in tattered clothes, bloody and clearly exhausted, was himself. But it wasn't him. He looked darker, like he didn't belong here. Mark quickly jolted back from the door in shock. In his panic, he tripped over a stray shoe and slammed the back of his head into a small table in his foyer, immediately losing consciousness. Mark showed up, gasping for breath. His eyes shot around, adjusting to the darkness. He was in his bed. The clock was stuck on exactly 3:17. As his eyes continued to adjust and he started to calm himself down, he began to notice he was in his room, but it wasn't his room. Things weren't exactly where he left them. His window wasn't perfectly centered on the wall. As Mark got out of bed and looked around, he glanced outside this window and saw his neighborhood. But just like his room, it was off. There were no streetlights, the trees had no leaves, and it seemed darker. Just as he was about to chalk it up to a nightmare, he glanced up and saw across the street his house. His actual house. The lights were on downstairs. Mark bolted out his front door and crossed the street to his real house. Terrified, he began banging on the door, screaming, begging to be let in. After what seemed like forever, he glanced through the window, and that's when he saw it. He saw himself, knocked out on the floor in the foyer. The clock on the wall read 3:17. What the fuck?